Hey guys, this is a short video on Polaris RZR 900. This is a 2015. It's a S. I did some little things to it here and there. Probably all said and done, let's just say for argument's sake, $4,000 in aftermarket accessories. Okay, had an issue recently back in early 2018, about a couple months ago. I had a shock knocking. So talked to the dealership. They said bring it in, let us look at it. They determined, yep, it's a bad shock. They're not used to rebuilding the shock, so they said they're not exactly sure what they'll bill me for doing the maintenance on the shock as required at 1,500 miles for the Polaris RZR. And I get that from their manual, directly from their manual. That's what the service intervals say, and that's just for the shocks, every 1,500 miles. So I said, well, what's the chances of the Polaris warranty covering this? And they say they may cover it, but we have to take it apart first. I said, could you give me an idea what it costs to do the maintenance on one shock? They said at least you have to figure it on $95 an hour, and we're into it. Oh, we're going to say 2 hours per shock to do the service maintenance required. I said, geez, I said that's just a lot of money for something they may or may not cover after all said and done. I talked to Fox Shocks themselves out, I think Minnesota. They quoted me a price for maybe say $400 to have them rebuilt. And then I talked to Shock Therapy out in Arizona. They wanted say 500 maybe, give or take. I think they were just a little bit more expensive, but they did put Schrader valves on my shocks. So I ultimately, long story short, went with Shock Therapy. Here's a little shout out to them. Appreciate them doing a great job. Had the work done, put all the shocks back on. The knock, of course, was eliminated. But the point of this video is to understand your Polaris warranty. You have to read the manual. I suggest you pass this information on to anyone considering buying a Polaris RZR, and especially the warranty that cost me $1,000 extra for maybe 5 years of protection. What you have to understand is this is not a car warranty. It's not a bumper-to-bumper warranty. This is a Polaris RZR warranty. Unless you follow and can prove that you maintain the vehicle per their schedule in their operator's manual, Polaris will flat out will not cover your vehicle. You have to prove you, yes, had the shocks serviced at 1,500 miles. Okay, I think that's a little bit, too much to ask. I mean, you put miles on these things, and out of the blue, bring them to, the dealer and to say, hey, can you service my shocks? And then be, basically handing them a blank check to say, well, whatever it costs to service those shocks, go ahead and do it. Because my dealer, they just would tell me how much they would charge me per hour. They weren't exactly sure how long it was going to take, because they were flat out straight up with me and said, normally no one has their shocks maintained. We're not used to taking these apart and changing the oil, changing any seals. So this is kind of going into a territory that they're not able to give me a straight flat rate on. So long story short, understand your Polaris warranty before you say yes to sinking in 15+ thousand into one of these brand new toys. I rode it as expected. It's an off-road vehicle. Never beat it. Just drove it on the trails. But yet only one of the shocks was knocking. I had all 4 rebuilt, only to do it the right way. And so that cost me about $500 out of my pocket. Hope this video helps you. The if Polaris would have put on better springs than their OEM type of inferior product, to say the least, I believe these shocks would have never knocked in the first place. I'll show you what I have on there now, and there's some Racer Tech shocks. I'm sorry, springs, but the vehicle handles much better. I get much better ground clearance. You try to put a passenger in one of these, and then put on, you know, like you can see, I have an aftermarket bumper, has some weight to it, and the winch. Those factory OEM springs are going to fatigue. It won't be long before you lose a couple inches in ground clearance. So understand, you know, when you buy one of these, be prepared, you know, to spend money in maintaining it, okay? And you have to have proof of that, okay? It goes beyond showing that you say, you know, bought the oil by, you know, showing a receipt and doing the maintenance yourself. Polaris is okay with that, but when it comes down to things that are beyond the owner's ability, you know, more than just changing motor oil or differential oil, when it comes to the shocks, and if you don't maintain them, you're going to be out of luck when it comes time to put in a warranty claim. So, you know, I'm not the say-all for these warranties, but it's something that you should have an idea what you're getting into when you pay them some serious money for that warranty. You may be used to a car warranty where you bring it in, it's a bumper-to-bumper warranty. You tell them what the problem is, they'll fix that shock. They won't say, did you have this shock maintained or maintenance? They won't do that. A car warranty will replace that shock straight up. Polaris warranty, different animal. Know and understand that before you you know, commit to buying that warranty. All right, take care.